Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to show you my take on the Death Oath CI Occultist, which is pretty much a running simulator kind of character, I would say, where you just run around and your death aura will actually kill stuff. So I actually made this character for farming high tier maps, and it did it quite good. So let's take a look on the playstyle itself. Let's say core map. Yeah, whatever. Let's just chisel that one up. Let's get some good stuff going. God, I'm so broke. Last recovery rate is not that great, but actually, since we're energy shield bait, doesn't really matter. Yeah, whatever. Should be fine. So let's run this map to give you a quick showcase on how this is working. Basically, you do face run. That's the skill over here, so you're just gonna get phasing and you're gonna be faster, and your death aura coming from the Death Oath plate is just going to kill off stuff. That's the basic idea of this build. So what you do is yeah, you activate your flasks and then you just move through stuff and stuff will explode. For mobs that have actually more HP than usual, like any rare packs or whatever, we are using a 5-linked blight setup. That will take care of that one, maybe like bosses here. Just some blight spamming, and yeah, damage is quite fine. I did actually do all the guardians with it. All the Uber guardians was pretty, yeah, fine, I would say. Not the fastest, not the best. But yeah, it's actually meant to be a speed farmer for all that kind of high tier maps and having that super lazy playstyle that I actually enjoy, you know, like Righteous Fire and that kind of stuff. But this one is just chaos based. We do have actually a flame dash applied here just to get over some obstacles, for example, or here these void or this memory things here, because sometimes you just get cut off the way and you cannot just run through. So basically what you're gonna do is just gonna flame dash over, and yeah, that's it. It's just a 1-link flame dash, so nothing too special over here. And I actually can't even find the opposite side here. Maybe it's somewhere here, probably over here. Please. There you go. So flame dash over. Let's just speed this one up to get some more playstyle going. Don't think there's any... Oh, transmutation orb. That's good. So, and yeah, we're just gonna keep on running, because running is king and running is super exciting. Would you call it exciting? Probably not. Okay, that one is that. So keep on running. So the more movement speed you stack, the better it will be, basically. I'm currently having somewhere about 150 movement speed. That's actually not too fast. But I still wanted to get some energy shield stuff in, so you could actually do a lot more stuff to boost up your movement speed. But if you want to have it even faster, then yeah, feel free to just adjust the skill tree a little bit. Path of Building link is in the description below, as always. And then you can just get some more of these movement skills and whatever. Or do it in hybrid and stuff, you know, the usual thing. So, can we actually find the boss room? Where is the boss room? Wait a second, it's core map, so basically it should be somewhere in the middle, to be honest. And for defensiveness, we actually run a Val Discipline. This will basically get your... Oh, I'm sustaining, cool. This will get your energy shield recharge going, even though you took damage, so it's actually fine. So, more explosions over here, more over here. Here we go. Core, boss. God, I hate this boss. We have, like, insane multiplier and whatever on this one. And more cast speed and whatever. But usually it's just always the same. You're just gonna run around your... you're gonna do damage while you're walking. And if you have the time, you can basically just spam some blights to get some debuff stacks. And yeah, works out pretty fine, to be honest. Let's get this one down. Phase transition, please. People are waiting. Do it. Faster. Perfect. Okay, more damage over here. Get over here, kill this shit. Perfect. Wow, that's some deeps. And if you're unsecure, just move around. You don't need to spam your Blight 24/7. It's just going to be more DPS, because the longer you spam your Blight, the more damage you will do, because the Wither stacks and whatever will go up. And Blight itself does a lot of damage as well. So as you saw, if you're about to die, just hit your Vile Discipline and you'll be fine again. Because then you have your Energy Shield recharge, which will do a shitload of regen. And yeah, so can we kill this boss off now? Popping Flasks? Oh, probably not. Probably he's going to kill me. Okay, perfect. Nice showcase, we got a Guardian map, perfect. So, as I said, I was just finishing all the Guardians and the Elder Guardians, but I could not do the Uber Elder. So the thing is, this is a pure mapping build where you can delve with whatever, but it's not for bossing, you know, because the Death Aura is hard to scale and will not gonna be some super insane damage. So at the moment it does like, I don't know, like 40k. But yeah, with the Despair Aura and Flasks up and whatever, we can scale this one up. And yeah, it's fine for mapping, let's say it like that. I did like 3 tries on Uber Elder, but in the end, I ended up playing Essence Drain for Uber Elder, because Blight alone, you know, you need to move around a lot to dodge things. So only Death Oath will actually do damage, and Shaper, Guardians, and that kind of stuff have way more resistance, chaos resistance, less effect of curses. So you're gonna do a lot less DPS on that guy. Or on that guy. So you basically, if you want to have some nice DPS, you constantly have to spam your Essence Drain, and that's on Uber Elder, that's not possible to do all the time, because you have to move around, you have to dodge, you have to do everything. So in the end, I used an Essence Drain setup in my gloves here, so I have like Essence Drain, Blight. You could actually add the Bane, whatever, but just the Death Oath alone is not enough to do Uber Elder. It did work on Guardians, as I said, Uber Guardians, but it's just not enough DPS for Uber Elder, because in the end, there is so much shit on the floor because you have not enough DPS. So let's talk about the build, and let's talk about the core item, which is the Death Oath Astral Plate. So what that thing does, besides taking 180 strength to equip it, you're gonna get the Death Aura. So the Death Aura is actually this one over here, as I said before. We're just gonna put away the gem so you can see how this is working. So the Death Aura does like 9k damage at the moment with my current gear. So that's just an invisible aura, more or less. So if I stand next to Nico, he should actually be dead by that time now. But he's somewhere, maybe he's CI and he doesn't get chaos damage, something like that. So there is only a few ways where you can actually scale your Death Oath Aura. First of all, the most important thing, you cannot scale it with spell damage. Remember, Blight, Essence Drain, Bane, like all that kind of stuff, they actually get more damage when you have spell damage. But that's not working for the Astral Plate. So what you need is every kind of damage over time multiplier, something like that. That's the only way. Generic damage, minion damage, for example. So if you want to, you can take those minion nodes, Spiritual Aid, and take all those minion nodes over here, and then we have minion nodes over here, so, and over here basically. So it's basically generic damage. Remember when I did my Aberrant Tooth Autobomber? That was basically the same thing. You cannot scale the Heralds with spell damage. Same case over here. So it's a lot harder to scale it. So what does affect our damage over time are these spells over here, at least these gems. We have here the Conk effect that will actually boost our damage of the Death Oath Aura. And please, guys, please. First of all, you need to recolor this one. There's a lot of guides out there how to recolor Death Oath. What in the end, you want to have 2 green, 3 blue, and 1 red. And they don't have to be linked, okay? So if you think like, hey, wait a second, this guy has like a double 3 link, that's not true. It can be anything, you know, it doesn't really matter. And now I cannot equip this shit anymore. Oh, I hate this shit. Death Oath needs so much. You know what? We're just gonna respec a little bit to make this one. Let's take a couple of points here. Let's just remove some points over here and add some dex here, some strength here. Wait, 2 more. It's just for equipping, right? It's just for equipping here. Because it's hard to get this 180 strength with just a witch, you know, because the majority you're gonna have is just intelligence. So I have like a shitload of strength on my belt and just trying to get that, right? You gotta make sure you get 50 all attributes from the chest itself. So in the end, you're just gonna equip one of your items here, like this one, then you can equip it, and then you can remove the item again if it, so you can just, because once this chest is active, you're gonna get these 50 all attributes. That's why I'm having freaking 230 strength at the moment. Okay, back to that one. So as I said, you want to have some supports that you can actually build into these chests. But it's not going to be a lot of supports. It's going to be like this one. Swift Affliction, then we have Void Manipulation, Efficiency, and Conk Effect. Those are pretty much the 3 that you can run with that one. There is a trick. There is some let's say, support gems that will make the duration smaller but adds damage, right? But the Death Oath Aura does not have any kind of duration. So what you can do is you're gonna get in an Arcane Surge, and now the Death Oath has actually a duration, right? Not any visible duration, not that it counts by any means. But the thing is, with this gem, you now have a duration tag on that one. So now you can apply Swift Affliction, less duration for more damage. With the other ones like Void Manipulation, Efficiency, and the Conk Effect. So you need that Arcane Surge to apply the less duration and the Swift Affliction, okay? Perfect, that's our 6th link. So, what about the other items? This is actually the core item itself, so everything would run just with that item to make this Death Aura. For our single target, I choose to go with the Allelopathy Gloves, yeah, or something like that, because it gives us level 22 Blight, so we can just, same as this one here, you have one skill that comes from an item, so you can put in 6 support gems, so you have basically a 7 link. Same with this one. This gives us Blight skill, so we can put it in 4 support gems. And no, this one doesn't have to be linked either, okay? Easy going. So, Control Destruction, Efficiency, Void Manipulation, and the Swift Affliction. These are the generic support gems for Chaos spells that you have all the time. For Access Drain, for Bane, for whatever Chaos skill it's going to be. For boots, I just went with the Bubonic Trails. Doesn't have to be Bubonics, can be Syntrax for a cheaper solution. I just took these ones here for the jewels, right? Just energy shield and damage over time to get some more damage for my Death Oath, because I can't scale with the spell damage, right? So that's the reason why I use these boots here. And here we have the Blasphemy and the Despair with the Impresence, because Impresence will give us chaos damage, like damage over time. And most importantly, Despair has 100% reduced mana reservation. So as soon as I'm going to equip the, or is it Despair? Here it is, Despair. You see that my mana pool is not changing because it doesn't reserve any mana, so that's good. Okay, so Despair, Blasphemy with the Impresence. For the shield, just gonna take some high energy shield, and yeah, that's basically it, you know. Like, basically the helm, the shield, the rings is basically just energy shield resistance, right? Here, energy shield resistance, some chaos damage. Here we have energy shield and resistance. So, nothing too fancy. Here we have Phase Run with enhanced support, because the quality for Phase Run will give movement speed, then increased duration.
Thank you for following.
Okay, thanks for following. Increased duration, so the Phase Run lasts longer, and the efficiency support. So what you're gonna make sure is, and this is not accurate at the moment, holy shit, I'm actually low prepared, because I was just respecking some points to get some, how do I say, for the Uber Elder encounter that I just tried and miserably failed on it. So I removed that point here in skill effect duration. So basically, what you do is, wait a second, let me just randomly take some points away here, to be honest. Path of Building link for the skill is obviously in the description below with a fixed tree. So, 3.71, that's still not enough. Why not? Nobody knows. Efficiency. Skill effect duration, Phase Run with the enhanced support. What did I change? What did I change on the Uber Elder encounter that I had before? Anyways, the important thing is that your cooldown on the Phase Run should be longer, the buff duration should be longer as the cooldown of the skill itself. That means the cooldown here is 4 seconds. That's pretty generic for every kind of Phase Run. So your buff needs to last longer than 3.71. So if we're gonna remove like 2 more points here, whatever, get the skill effect duration, and There we go. Now it lasts 4.34 seconds. Means that's longer than our cooldown on the skill. So basically the buff lasts longer than the skill cooldown. So you can permanently be facing and be fast moving around and yeah, blow shit up basically. Okay, so what else do we have here? As I said, energy shield resistance for the weapon. This is a fun one. I used to play with this one with the Breath of the Council because it just gives you a lot of chaos damage, area of effect, and skill effect duration, which is pretty good. But we have one stat that is just way more damage, and this is the non-ailment chaos armor time damage multiplier. So, for example, if we use this one, our, let's say Death Oath does about 29 chaos. If we move this one in, we now have, where is it? 35k. So, again, 29, 35, although this has freaking 100% chaos damage, and this weapon is just junk, right? I spammed like 1,000 alterations. Like, I just bought this fractured item with the implicit of the non-ailment chaos damage over time. Then I spammed alterations over and over again, and to hit this non-ailment chaos damage over time multiplier stat, basically I would like to annul it now and then multi-mod it for even more damage. I didn't even have the chaos damage craft that you have over here. I think if I go chaos damage, this one is 66. I don't even know if this one, this is actually two hands, so this is the one hand, 44%. I think there is a higher one, but I wasn't sure, that's why I took the damage over time here. Because both chaos damage and the damage over time will scale the Death Oath, but not spell damage, okay? So this chaos damage over time multiplier is essential for making this build actually do a lot of damage. Okay, so here we have cast when damage taken, Immortal Call. Let me quickly close this Discord because I hear the beeps all the time, so you will listen to them too, so sorry for that. Here we have cast when damage taken, Immortal Call with the Flame Dash. As I explained before, the Flame Dash is basically just for getting right in the Nexus, because if the memory thing, the Shroud, comes nearer, you just sometimes need to have something like Flame Dash to get over obstacles, right? Because Phase Run will not do that. Okay, so, Gemlings, everything over here, fine. For the Flasks, why do I have Wise Oak? I do have balanced resistance, so I took the Wise Oak for a defensive option, right? If you have not balanced resistance, then take probably a Rumi's Concoction, for example. Where do I have that one? A Rumi's Concoction, for example, or a Tiri's Promise, maybe. Yeah. Something like that. Witchfire Brew for the damage. We do have the spare reserved mana, so the Despair Hour doesn't really matter too much. But we get 40% increased damage over time, which is more for our Death Oath plate. Then we have the Basalt Flask with Bleed Immunity, and Sulfur Flask with Freeze Immunity, more generic damage, and the Quicksilver Flask to move around faster. If we go over to the skill tree, which is now half destroyed, right? That's actually bad, but Path of Building, we're not going to take too much of a closer look in here, just to talk about the choices of the Ascendancy. We have Wicked Ward and Val Bastion, which is pretty generic for any kind of energy shield build. I used to try to make this build possible with a Trickster, but in the end, Trickster had like, let's say, 20% more damage. But the Occultist with the stun immunity and the flat energy shield we get over here gives you more than, I think like more than 2000 energy shield. So I was just waiting the, or put more weight on the focus on the energy shield and the survivability besides just pure damage. Then we have the Void Beacon to give less chaos resistance to the enemies, and Profane Bloom to have better clear, because I played without that before. I used Withering Presence, but I gotta say, with the explosions, Death Oath feels faster, okay? That's why I took this one over the Withering Presence. For the jewels, we have double spreading rot jewel for so our blight, once we channel it, the enemies get hindered, and every hinder stack is 6% increased chaos damage taken. So that will both, so our Death Oath will do more damage, and also blight. And we have double energy from within on the melding wheel and on the life cluster right here. What that one makes is basically it transforms life nodes into energy shield nodes. So here we have 5, 10 and 5 life.
Thank you for following.
Thanks for following. If we put this one over here, we get now with energy shield, energy shield, energy shield. Same, that's why I use this mana and life clusters over here, because the circle just gets those one in and they will give me more energy shield on that one. Okay, as I said, skill tree is in the description below. Here I would like to have a Watcher's Eye Jewel with the Malevolence, since we're using Malevolence, with the increased ailment, non-chaos damage ailment thingy, that's that here, okay? The non-ailment chaos damage over time multiplier. So there is one Watcher's Eye currently going for like 5 Exalt, something like that. That gives you another 20%, 22% of that non-ailment chaos damage, which is a total insane DPS boost, because you just saw that these 50% ailment chaos damage is way more damage than 100% chaos damage on that one. Keep that in mind, that you need to stack these ailment chaos damage. You could actually dual wield those and just get more damage from that one. Okay, for Pantheons, I at the moment have the Soul of Solaris just for some physical damage mitigation. Could be Arakali as well, because we run Immortal Call. And now I just have Yugul for the Uber Elder encounter, but usually I would probably take maybe Shakari for poison immunity if I hit Tora in any map. Wait a second, no, wait a second, that's actually a bad idea. We are CI, we are actually Chaos Immune. I'm just stupid, I'm sorry for that. So, anything else here? Movement speed, if you haven't been hit recently. Perfect, here. Garukan you're gonna take, okay? With the Soul of Solaris or the Lunaris, actually for even more movement speed. Yeah, take that one. Lunaris and Garukan for mapping, and then take, I don't know, like either Arakali and Solaris plus Yugul for Uber Elder if you want to try it. But in the end, as I said before, Death Oath is not going to be enough damage to kill Uber Elder, and the Blight, I mean, if you have insane gear, it might be possible, like dual wielding, so you have even more damage, but just like that, if you can do that, respect, not respect, like respect, you know. But on the other hand, if you build in a falling, like if Phase Run is actually not really mandatory in any kind of Uber Elder encounter. If you have like Flame Dash, faster casting, that's way enough for movement. So you can actually take this cluster here and take a full-length Essence Drain on top of the Blight to get more damage, so that actually might be possible. But this is not an Essence Drain character, it's a Death Oath character, so that's why my main focus is on this one over here, right? So just to get that straight. Perfect. Anything else? Passives. We're gonna take 2 passive skill points, so we're gonna kill all the bandits. Because we are not a crit build and we don't need live regen, so we're gonna take the 2 skill points, get maybe an additional jewel slot, and just profit like that, or even more energy shield on that point. So, MTX, if you want to know, it's the Seraph Dagger with the Celestial Weapon effect, the Holy Eyes, Celestial Hood, the Celestial Hooded Cloak, we have the Celestial Body Armor, Celestial Character Effect, Celestial Footprints, oh god, too much Celestial over here, Dominator Gloves with the Legion Boots, and the Sin and Innocence Shield, with a Demon King Portal effect. Here we have Dark Immortal Call, Dragon Flame Dash over here, looks like pretty sick. Celestial Aura, the Force Field Aura, the Soul Nexus Aura, and yeah, Phase Run doesn't have an MTX, sadly, I think, otherwise I need to buy it. It does not. Good. Okay, for me, this character is done. As I said, you need a lot of adjustments to the Uber Elder, so the next build, what I'm going to play, or at least try out, because now I'm going to sell this character again. It was a nice try. I really wanted to do a Death Oath character at all. It's the first time I'm doing it. It went successfully, I would say, but I actually want to be able to kill Uber Elder way more easier than with this one, so I want to do an Essence Drain character again. Yes, I know that you think like, hey, wait a second, you did an Essence Drain Occultist, so why Essence Drain again? Essence Drain is just, I love the playstyle, but this time it's not going to be an Occultist, it's going to be a Trickster with a Queen of the Forest for evasion stacking, but still going to be maybe hybrid, maybe CI. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's going to be a hybrid. It should be way faster in clearing than the Occultist, a little bit less survivability, but I think I still will be able to do an easy Uber Elder with that one, just because if you remember on the Occultist I did Uber Elder on a 5-link, now I probably have access to a 6-link, so that will be quite easy, and then I probably want to do some boss services, but we're gonna see first of all, we need to make the character, and then we're gonna see what we can do with it, and so on. So yeah, I think pretty cool character, would definitely recommend. Can also farm the low delve, like fossil farming. That's what I did before. I managed to do this one for high tier maps. I was using double allure because if you have facing, you have movement speed. So I was stacking up to like 350% movement speed. So in a low delve, if you farm fossils, face run, and just pick up loot, because everything else will die. So that's actually pretty insane, but I didn't really wanted to make a guide about that one because I'm super new to any kind of low delve farming. I never really did that. Yesterday was the first day ever. I made like 200 or 300 chaos orbs in a couple of hours, so I don't have any strategies for that one, but there is a lot of guides out there that you could basically check. But Death Oath is actually viable and super chill to do those delve runs. So enough talking here. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.